Especially in Europe, are coming to terms with the Taliban's sudden return to power in Afghanistan. For more, I'm joined by Deutsche Welle correspondent William Glucroft in Berlin. William, what have top officials there, including the Chancellor Angela Merkel, said about events in Kabul?
It's really been a week of shock here, as in many countries. Well, we've heard from the foreign minister, Heiko Maas, in advance of Angela Merkel. They're both basically sticking to the same line. They're shocked. They call the situation very bitter. Developments happening there, really terrible was Angela Merkel's word for it. And that they are basically sticking to the line that they, along with their NATO partners, seriously underestimated the situation there and the Taliban's strength and their ability to sweep through the country and take back power as they have, as we've seen this week. So there's a lot of soul searching among European and NATO countries today and this week. Angela Merkel and other European leaders are said to be extremely angry and frustrated with the Biden administration, especially as they've worked so hard these last several months, all this year, in fact, to rebuild transatlantic ties that took such a hit during the Trump administration. Joe Biden and many of his high-level staff have been in Europe and especially in Germany the last many months. They've said that they've been working closely together. They've been holding a lot of internal, behind closed doors discussions, especially about Afghanistan, so they could be in lockstep together for a plan for Afghanistan, and all of that seems for naught, and that is what German and European officials are grappling with this week.
So how is Germany responding to the crisis?
Well, basically they're responding as they should have been responding the last several months. The German government has been dragging its feet, much to the chagrin of refugee and other kinds of aid groups, to get at least Germany's many local personnel out, translators, cooks, these kinds of people who have helped the German military, helped German agencies and NGOs all of these years, whose lives are now at risk. And Germany, like many European countries and the United States, have been very slow to get these people out, and now they're scrambling to do that. There have been some German Air Force flights into Kabul to get the first few hundred people out of the country, both German diplomatic personnel, German citizens, and local Afghan personnel. But there are tens of thousands, or at least several thousand more people left to go. And Angela Merkel and others have been very honest about the prospects of really being successful in getting everyone out. There seems to be a reality here that many of those people will not be able to get out.
William, for an Australian audience, remind us, what was the extent of Germany's role in the Afghan war?
This was a major commitment of Germany. It was Germany's largest and longest combat role and foreign presence since the Second World War. It had one of the largest troop commitments to the NATO mission there. Several thousand troops at one point at the peak were there. Germany spent as much as 20 billion euros on its commitment there, both in combat missions and in training missions. It's lost 59 German soldiers as well as many more wounded. So this was a big commitment for Germany, and it was a major political statement given Germany's reluctance to engage militarily around the world, given its brutal Nazi past, its past of invading other countries. It's always taken a more pacifist route in its modern history. So this was a major turning event for Germany, that it wanted to show that it could be part of a productive, constructive commitment to global security. So this is really hitting hard back in German political circles back here in Berlin.
William Glucroft reporting from Berlin. Police in Thailand have used water cannons